Hello, my name is Kian Sanjari, Training and Marketing Manager at Mersen. Welcome to another episode of One-on-One with Mersen. Today I'm joined by David Com, Solution Engineering Manager at Mersen, to talk about Fuse Control Program. Hello, Dave.
Hey, Kian. Great to be here.
Today I want to talk to you about one of the key roles of solution engineer teams at Mersen, which is to work closely with our MRO customers to ensure that their facilities and plants have the proper set of fuses installed in order to maintain the correct overcurrent protection, overcurrent limitation within their facility in case of an electrical fault. Fault levels within a facility may increase over time as more efficient motors and service entrance transformers are installed, part of upgrades, retrofits, and so forth. So it is important to do a study of the current fuses that they have installed at our MRO customer sites. Also, it is often seen that older lower interrupting fuses are mixed with high interrupting fuses, which is a sign that fuses may have been replaced incorrectly over time in the past and now may pose a risk of having inadequate current limitation in the facility. So that brings me to my first question. Mersen has a fuse control program. What is it exactly?
Yeah, great point. So the fuse control program, it's a audit program of the facility with the end goal of getting some consolidation of inventory and improved performance. Many MROs have various manufacturers and classes of fuses, just like you said, in their storeroom, which means they probably have a lot of duplication there. And they probably continue to purchase those fuses and add to the duplication. The two major benefits of this program is trying to reduce the SKUs in inventory and improve overall safety. And this is done by upgrading to the most current limiting fuses. On average, we see a 25% or more reduction in SKUs. And there is a cost associated with managing a single SKU in a storeroom. Typically, I hear that is around $200 per SKU. So there is an inherent cost savings in the program as well as the performance benefits. By eliminating the older style fuses, we're going to simplify replacement, which is going to save time on finding the correct fuses and hopefully help reduce overall downtime.
So talking about the program, how time consuming is it and how expensive can it be?
So to start, it is a free program that we offer for anyone that's interested. And as far as how much time it takes, it can really depend. And one of the big factors is going to be how the storeroom is managed. So typically the process will start off with a kickoff meeting, where we can do it virtually and we'll discuss the benefits and the program as a whole. And then from there, ideally the storeroom will be using a inventory management system where they can just simply export what their fuse inventory is to us and provide part numbers. Ideally, they'll provide part numbers, internal part numbers, description, quantity, usage. Really, the more info they can provide us, the better, and that will all be in an Excel export. Unfortunately, some facilities don't use an inventory management system, so we'd have to go in, take inventory by hand, and obviously that will add to the time of the whole process. But once we get the list, it's sent in to us at Mersen. We're going to run it through our proprietary program, and then we're going to send back a bunch of reports that show in detail where all the consolidation is and what fuses can be upgraded, which ones can't. And then the next steps are really done in any order. It can be, one is a safety training and fuse training. So the people that are out there replacing the fuses and the people that order the fuses know exactly why the program was done and what the benefits are. This could also be done virtually, just like the kickoff meeting. Then the next steps would be pricing and updating that inventory management system. And then obviously the last step would be placing an order and getting the upgraded fuses into the facility.
So now that a customer has received a fresh set of fuses, what happens with their old inventory?
So finance people probably won't like my recommendations, but in reality, most of the fuses that are there are probably junk and should just be scrapped. Typically what we see out there in storerooms is really old stock, 30, 40 years old. We don't know what the condition of the fuses are inside. We don't know how they'll perform. So we really don't want to get those installed in the facility. And then, as I said before, they probably have dated characteristics from a performance standpoint. And when we really start talking about arc flash, we're going to not want to use those older fuses. We're going to want to put in the most current limiting ones. And I frequently see that there's excessive stock. Likely what happens is a bunch of new machines come into a facility and they just add those duplications. So if someone was trying to use up that old inventory, it could take them years. And then that's just going to delay the program, and they're going to keep using older style fuses, which brings me to another point. As part of the program, we can actually help set mins and max to a reasonable level to help avoid building up excessive inventory again.
I see. And from a customer standpoint, who should be involved in the initial introduction to the program?
So it can really vary depending on the facility. Generally, what I like to see is have someone from maintenance, engineering, finance, the storeroom people, and then an electrical safety person. In my opinion, the two key people would really be a safety person and the storeroom people because of the two major benefits: reducing SKUs and standardizing on the most current limiting fuses. So obviously with the storeroom, they get the benefit of making their jobs easier from a selection standpoint, managing bins, all that type of stuff. And then from a safety standpoint, we're potentially going to help lower arc flash hazards. Arc flash is a huge part of electrical safety these days, and doing something as simple as changing out fuses by using a more current limiting fuse can reduce the hazard. Unfortunately, just the opposite of that, if someone mistakenly puts in an older style fuse, they can increase the hazard. So that's another reason why I always recommend scrapping all that old inventory and not allowing that to happen.
And if someone is interested in taking part in the program, who should they contact?
So there are a number of contact points. So first, obviously, any authorized distributor should be aware of the program. If they're not aware, they'd have the proper channels to start everything going. Second channel would be through one of our manufacturer rep agencies around the country. They are definitely all familiar with the program, and they could also help find a distributor if you don't know where to buy or who an authorized distributor is. The last line, I would say, so to speak, would be the solutions engineering team or contacting our technical services department, and they can direct you to the right people. If you go onto our website, there is a where to buy section, and that will tell you who our local reps are, who the solutions engineers are, and the technical services contact info.
Very good. Sounds to me like a really great way to ensure that our customers stay safe, that their fuses and the protection within their facilities are upgraded. And the last thing we want to see is any incidents that could have been easily prevented. So, Dave, I want to thank you again for sitting in and explaining the program to the audience here. This will conclude our one-on-one session on Fuse Control program. And I'd like to extend my wishes to see you again all at our next one-on-one session. Till then, take care.
Great. Thanks, Cam.
Thank you, Dave.